2 unidentified men walked off with a pallet of boxes as vendors set up for Gen Con in Indianapolis, resulting in the loss of $300,000 worth of Magic the Gathering cards. Or potentially half of that if they open them, or significantly more if they get a rare card. It was initially unclear what was stolen, but local retailer and tabletop tournament organizer Pastimes Comics and Games later confirmed that the stolen items were sealed Magic the Gathering sets. Despite the loss, Pastime Comics and Games hosted their scheduled events throughout the convention. Cool. That must have been pretty annoying. High-profile sales of rare Magic cards have elevated the perceived value of trading cards, increasing the risk of theft. In May, a burglar broke into a game shop in a suburb of Indiana and shoved $15,000 of Magic cards into a pizza delivery bag. All right. Discussion question. Why have trading cards become so lucrative? What impact does that have on tabletop gaming?
That's not what I want to talk about.
All right.
I want to talk about how difficult it is to manage security well at an event like this. I can totally get how this happened.
I thought about that. I thought about LTX while reading this, the first time and this time.
It's clear that there are some things that we're going to have to figure out for the next LTX if we don't want people walking off with a pallet of Magic the Gathering cards. Fortunately, almost nothing we have at an event like LTX has this kind of value density. We would never have an entire pallet of laptops, for example. So you would, but then I would also never expect a thief to just walk it. They don't even have hard hats and safety vests on. Like, that's rule number 1 of not being questioned about anything. Is having a hard hat and a safety vest on and like a utility belt or something. No one's going to ask you anything. You just pick up a pallet jack and start moving things around. These guys just roll in with like T-shirts and just freaking carry away a pallet of cards. What did they even put it in?
Don't know.
Freaking wild.
That's nuts.
That's pretty much all I had to say about that.
Yeah. Trading cards becoming lucrative. I have a theory on this, actually. I think income inequality and cost of living and everything is so bad, and people are seeing stuff like crypto and all these other scenarios be like the only real, like gamble literally everything you have, completely broke or super rich is pretty much the only option.
Well, yeah, the erosion of the middle class has been basically happening since, it's hard to say exactly when, sorry, and it's a huge problem. It's one of those things. It's like when people ask me for my position on unions and like overall pro-union. Did you see the UPS?
Yeah, it's awesome.
Outcome? That's outstanding.
Yeah, actually.
But I'm also anti running a company where people feel like they need one. So if that makes me a monster, then I don't know. You, I guess.
I will say, from what I've heard, the negotiations that happened between the union and UPS went over very well. Both sides were like, cool.
Well, UPS has come out and been all like butthurt about it after. They're like, this will make us less competitive or whatever. But realistically, they were saying that to their shareholders, which is true. If they're paying more for labor, then it is, whatever.
But those salaries looking good, man.
Yeah,
they're looking real good.
Yeah, and
that's great.
That's gonna push up the value of people, because the term unskilled labor is just such a misnomer.
It's very like douchey. Like,
and
it's just...
no, driving a vehicle safely and making sure that packages are properly handled and
being highly efficient.
We can have the debate another day about whether UPS, gets your package there safely or whatever. Fine. But assuming that you are skilled, that's, I guess, my point, right? Is clearly you appreciate it when the job is done with a degree of skill, don't you? So then, no, as long as somebody with skill is doing it, there isn't unskilled labor. With that said, I mean, there's other areas where the fight is not going so well. I think that the actors and the writers are in deep trouble. I don't think they have a leg to stand on in this negotiation. To be clear, I'm not saying that they're not right. Yeah. I'm just saying that they don't have a good negotiating position. And at the end of the day, that's what it's going to come down to when they're sitting across the table from corporations that only care about money.
I think a lot of people are going to end up mishearing that, even though I don't think you said it wrong. Again, he didn't say that he doesn't think they're right. It's just it ties into a conversation we've had on WAN Show before about how like movie profits have been tanking in a lot of realms.
And TV. There's no money in TV anymore. And they're sitting there going, we want more of the money from TV. And it's like, okay, well, good luck with that.
Been like
See you later.
hyper commoditized. Is that the right word?
I would say, I don't know if that's quite the right term. I mean, just cord cutting
Yeah.
has ripped
And
the
then
money.
the streaming services
out of,
are way cheaper. Like, it's just... And then now there's a ton of competition in the streaming space. It's like, oof, I don't know. Studios are bad faith negotiating. We're not agreeing with the studios.
Yeah,
This is what I'm saying. Like, I was pretty sure people were going to mishear this. We are not agreeing with the studios. We're just saying that they're going to have the strikers in this situation are going to have a very hard time. We're not saying that that's good. We're not saying that's the right thing. We're just acknowledging that they're going to have a hard
Luke, you're
time.
going to keep reiterating things, but it doesn't matter how many times we say something or how clearly we state it. Even float plane chat, which is like our peeps. Linus, seriously, worker representation is the law for a company the size of yours in a lot of countries. Get off your high horse. You're not hearing what I'm saying. You're just, you are like, la, 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 la. I'm saying our goal is to run a company where people shouldn't need it.
Yeah.
That is a good thing. And if you disagree, I have no idea what to tell you.
There's literally no statement here of unions are bad. We're just saying we want to be so good.
We want
that they
people
are
to not
needed.
need one.
Yeah.
It's just it's actually black and white. Me say thing good. That's it. It's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
There's actually nothing I could do to prevent our staff from unionizing. Actually, for real. Like, we have way better worker protections than the States, for the most part. It does vary a lot from state to state. I don't know. So far, success.
Yeah.
It's a good thing.